The bold and the beautiful spoilers reveal that a tsunami of tragedy and anger is about to hit Los Angeles, threatening to disrupt the fragile emotional order between key characters. At the center of all the chaos is the shocking return of Nick Marone, the man who once rocked Brooke's life. This time, his return not only revives a broken love, but also sparks a deadly tragedy that pushes Ridge Forrester into the abyss of loss, guilt, and complete collapse. When Nick returns and brings with him an unpredictable danger to Ridge, Nick's appearance, after many years of absence, immediately stirs up the fashion world and old relationships that were thought to be dormant. Rumors of Nick and Brooke's rekindling quickly spread throughout the wealthy Beverly Hills community. Brooke, after her emotional trauma, begins to give herself a new chance, and Nick is the man who makes her heart beat again. But one person can't accept it. Ridge, despite being happy with Taylor Hayes, still sees Brooke as the woman he was destined to marry, the one he could never truly let go of. However, Ridge and Taylor's relationship quickly faces a medical nightmare when Taylor discovers she has a serious heart condition. Doctors diagnose her as terminal, and she could pass away at any moment. Not long after, on a quiet night at her home, Taylor collapses in Ridge's arms. A massive heart attack takes her life, leaving Ridge with an unfillable pain. From loss to obsession, Ridge turns to Brooke, but it's too late. Ridge, now alone and heartbroken, can only look back to the past, to the woman he once loved deeply, Brooke. He believes that Brooke will understand his loss, will open her arms to welcome him, and they can rewrite a new chapter for their unfinished love story. But the truth is crueler than death. When Ridge arrived at the Logan mansion, he was surprised to see Nick sitting next to Brooke, smiling and talking intimately, his eyes filled with love. Ridge's heart broke again. Anger flared up in the man who had experienced so much loss. He felt betrayed, robbed of the last thing he had left in his life. Unable to accept it, Ridge confronted Nick at the Forrester Creations office the next day. Ridge's warning echoed in the room, "Stay away from her. This is your last chance." But Nick, brave and arrogant, just shrugged. "You lost Brooke a long time ago, Ridge." A fateful push that led to sudden death and tragedy. That sentence became the last straw. In a blind moment of rage, Ridge raised his hand and pushed Nick away. Unfortunately, Nick lost his balance, fell backwards, and hit his head on the corner of the glass table in the office. The sound of his skull hitting the edge of the table rang out coldly. Nick lay motionless on the floor, blood seeping from the back of his head onto the carpet. Brooke ran to him, but it was too late. Nick was dead on the spot. The sirens of police cars blared as an assistant who witnessed the incident called 911. Ridge was handcuffed before Brooke's bewildered and pained eyes. "I didn't mean to," Ridge repeated desperately, but no one in the room believed his excuse. An impulsive act, a moment of anger, had taken a life. Ridge lost everything and faced punishment. Ridge's tragedy was not just losing Nick, it was losing everything. Taylor was dead. Brooke was shunned. The police detained him as a murderer. The Forrester family was in shock. The media was hounded. Ridge, once a fashion and power icon, was now an outcast, carrying the burden of a death he had caused. Ridge sits silently in his cold cell, images of Taylor, Nick, and Brooke playing in slow motion in his mind. He wonders if he can forgive himself? And will Brooke ever forgive him for his terrible sin? The Bold and the Beautiful is painting a classic story of love, jealousy, and the unpredictable consequences of human emotions. With Ridge's tragedy, Nick's sudden death, and Brooke's shock, it's only the beginning of a series of dark days for the cast. The question is, after all, will anyone survive without a scar on their heart? The bold and the beautiful spoilers reveal that the upcoming episodes will bring the audience not only tears, heartache, but also a series of tense and dramatic situations revolving around two major storylines. The return of the beautiful female Dr. Bridget Forrester in the context of Liam Spencer's health condition becoming critical, and a fierce clash, which can even lead to fatal consequences, between two of the most powerful and dangerous women, Sheila Carter and Papia. The medical battle to save Liam from a cruel fate after a long absence, the return of Bridget, the daughter of Brooke and Eric, is eagerly awaited by fans. Not only because of her beauty and medical talent, but also because she will immediately participate in one of the most complicated and desperate cases that the bold and the beautiful has ever exploited, the fight to save Liam's life. Liam has recently begun to experience dangerous symptoms, loss of balance, persistent headaches, paranoia, and even confusion in his perception. Doctors diagnose him with severe brain damage, but cannot pinpoint the exact cause. What makes things worse is the rapid and uncontrolled progression of the disease, which threatens Liam's memory and identity as a father, husband, and central figure in countless relationships in Los Angeles. Bridget returns to the hospital hoping to work with Dr. Finn and Dr. Reese Buckingham, but all three soon realize a devastating reality. They cannot save Liam with the methods currently available. Conventional treatments have failed. Liam's brain seems to be betraying him with a rare form of neurodegeneration, possibly related to a past trauma or an undiscovered genetic complication. Bridget, skilled and determined, refuses to give up. She dives into Liam's old medical records, pulls up genetic data from the Spencer family, and even suggests an experimental treatment. But time is running out. Liam's behavior is becoming increasingly uncontrollable, at times not even recognizing his daughter as Kelly. Hope is running out. And in a heartbreaking moment, Finn admits, if we don't figure it out in the next few days, he'll never be himself again. Bridget's return is not only a chance for her to prove herself, but also opens up deeper plot possibilities. Will Bridget find a way to save Liam, or will this be the slowest, most brutal death a beloved character has ever faced? Sheila versus Poppy. When Isle Giardino becomes a survival arena if Liam and Bridget's storyline makes viewers suffocate with emotion at the same time, another battle makes the audience unable to take their eyes off because it is too chaotic, too surprising, and too dangerous. It all started when Sheila, the devil in disguise, appeared at Isle Giardino, where Luna's mother, Poppy, was present. It was no surprise that the two women did not like each other. Sheila always thought that Poppy was trying to separate her and her son Deacon Sharp, while Poppy was worried that Sheila's presence was a potential danger to her family, especially Luna. And so, a sharp word and a sharp look quickly turned into an unprecedented food fight. Poppy refused to give up, grabbed a glass of red wine and threw it straight at Sheila's face, and immediately after, a plate of salad flew across the table and landed straight in Poppy's hair. The customers in the restaurant screamed and ran away while the staff tried to stop the two women. The scene was reminiscent of another achievement in Sheila's past when she broke into Lee's house and had a bowl of spaghetti thrown in her face. That time was an insult. This time, Sheila has no intention of being humiliated a second time. In her anger, Sheila's eyes darken to the point of fear. She whispers coldly, "Poppy, you've just crossed the line." The question is, will Sheila stop at a food fight, or will she go further, to the point of taking her opponent's life? Isle Giardino used to be a place to gather, but for Sheila and Poppy, it is now a battlefield. And in this battlefield, there is no place for either woman. The deep hatred, combined with Sheila's bloody history of violence, makes fans unable to help but worry. Will Poppy become Sheila Carter's next victim? Tensions escalate on all fronts. The Bold and the Beautiful is gradually pushing every character to the limit of endurance. On one side is a life-and-death battle between medicine and fate to save Liam, while Bridget is caught between hope and helplessness. On one side, a physical and psychological battle between two conflicted women pushes Sheila into familiar danger zones where blood and hatred merge. All of which leads to one certainty: the game is about to change. Characters who once seemed unrelated will now have to choose sides, face the consequences, and possibly sacrifice everything to protect the people they love. Don't take your eyes off the screen this season. The real drama is just beginning.
Oh,